the lonely phase. If you are in it already, welcome, right? Glad to see you here. But if you are wondering what the hell am I talking about, well, let me tell you what it's all about. It's a mandatory phase that any successful person, any individual who's looking to become more successful, who's looking to achieve their goals, who's having big dreams in their life, and is refusing to settle for less, has to go through. Right? It's something that anyone on the ascent has to go through. Right? This is the stage that breaks a lot of people, right? Because it's fucking miserable, right? It's not something that everybody can handle. You're going to probably lose a lot of your friends. You'll notice it, right? You might have already seen this happen in your life already. Is when you have better goals, right? Let's say, okay, you started going to the gym every single day. You started to work out at least 5 times a week. You're focusing on your business. You're trying to, get more jobs, increase your paycheck so that you can start more bread. You're building a side hustle. You're doing a lot of things to make more money, right? You're hustling on there. Then yeah, you're going to um see that if you have current friend group, right, a friend circle or whatever, they're going to feel kind of alienated away from you, right? Because they don't relate to you anymore, right? Your hobbies and interests and activities that are common between you and them have now changed. Most likely, if you're trying to escape negativity, then probably, most likely, your friends are losers, right? I'm not saying everybody's a loser. I'm just, a lot of them tend to be, especially when you're looking to get out of being a loser. Like, for example, if you know you're a loser, then probably the guys who are around you who are doing the same thing along with you are also losers, right? Because you're doing pretty much the same shit together. You're drinking alcohol, smoking weed, partying all the time. Uh, yeah, doing a bunch of unproductive, stupid shit all the time. We're doing all that along with the Iraqs. Then chances are they're also lose, right? I'm not saying everybody is a loser. Not all of them are losers, right? Some some of us do have friends that are looking to achieve something big in their life, So respect to them, right? But generally speaking, if you are a loser, that means that the people you have been hanging out until now, they're also probably losers. And I hope I'm able to get my point across without being offensive. Fuck that. I don't care, right? Because that's the truth, right? If you are a loser, you're doing loser shit, and you know that for a fact. Hey, I'm doing loser shit, and these guys around me, who are my so-called friends, they're also doing the same loser shit. So that means that they are also losers. You can change, right? Of course. But what's the truth? What's the cold hard reality? The cold hard reality is they're also losers and you're also a loser, right? So the question is, you're working on changing. What makes you different is you're working on changing it. What makes us different, it is the people who are on this path of self-improvement. What makes us different is is the fact that we are willing to accept the facts, right? We are willing to accept the facts and we are willing to change ourselves so that we can become better. Now, coming back to the point that I was discussing previously, earlier, that is, um, I was saying how, you know, once you start doing more productive shit, the activities that created points of commonality between you and your friend group, the, the friend group that you had until now, those points of commonality have been erased because you're doing shit that's completely different. But you're working on your job, you're stacking more cash, you're working on your business, you're building a side hustle, you're increasing your income, you're working out, you're being disciplined, you're staying off the drugs, alcohol, you're throwing all this shit away. You're being fucking disciplined, productive, and then, to change in your life for the better, right? So that makes you completely different to them because they're still, focused on partying and drinking and smoking weed and doing some bullshit, right? So, yeah, what am I trying to say with this is since the points of commonality are gone, you are going to end up in a phase of life that you have no friends. Now, what about the people who are doing shit in their lives, like who are doing cool shit in their life, amazing stuff, like they're being productive, successful, and they're living the dream life that you want. Why the fuck can't you be friends with them? Is the question that you may be asking. But you can be, but the thing is, you're not there, right? You're not at the same level as them. They'll view you as a loser, right? You gotta earn the rights to be a part of that club, right? You gotta earn the rights to be a member of that particular club, right? The club of successful individuals, the club of successful entrepreneurs. A wantrepreneur or a entrepreneur cannot be in the same group as people or entrepreneurs doing $1 million per year or more into their business, right? That's stupid, right? Because yeah, they'll respect you for trying to bring more positive change in your life, but you're not going to be part of the group. They're not going to accept you in there. That's the reality because you're not there yet. So till you reach that point, right? You're going to be lonely. Doesn't have to be $1 million per year, by the way. That was just an example. That's like 10K per month, right? If you make 10K per month, you are now officially part of the club that's earning six figures per year. The amount of people who earn six figures per year are very low, right? The percentage of people in the whole world is very low. So, what's the percentage of people earning at least 100K USD per year? How many people in the world? A Quora search tells me, um, okay, fuck that. Okay, there's this article by Yahoo Finance. Nah, this shit is the. There's this website called Jubal.org. Okay, the average annual income in the United States is $44,300. Um, okay, good, bad. 18% of Americans make over 100K per year. That's just America. In the globe, that's 11.8 percentage, right? And I see another Reddit article that tells you that making 100K in USA puts you about 81% of the population. Ye- But making 100K per year means poverty in California and New York. That's the sad part, right? Even if you're making more money than 81% of the population, you're still fucking poor in California. Um, Nearly a quarter of American workers, 21.1%, have earned at least $100,000 last year, according to DQYDJ.com. This is what Yahoo Finance is telling me. So yeah, the statistics are all over the place, but what this means is that only 10 to 20% of the population of the world makes this kind of money, right? The amount of that's a lot of people, but that club is small compared to the whole world population. If you compare the world population to them, right? It's a very small club that you have to become part of. You have to beat 80% of the people in the world in order to enter the club. That takes effort, right? And under 100K per year is not even a lot of money nowadays because like inflation has eaten all of our salaries, man. It has eaten the value of money. And like I said before, 100K per year in California is poverty. It's poverty, actually. Um, People who make $500,000 per year or more, that's an even smaller percentage. Let me put that in chat GB. Right? Chat GPT gives me better results. It's the percentage of people earning at least 500K per year. Globally, less than 0.1% of the population, global population, earns 500K plus per year. That's fewer than 1 in 1,000 people worldwide. According to in the US, right? According to IRS data and census estimates, roughly 1.1% of US taxpayers report an annual income of 100K or more. So there you go. You have to become a part of the 0.1% of the global population. Get into that particular club, right? If you want to speak with real ballers, real money makers, the guys who are making, a huge difference in the world, the 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 people who are making an actual difference in the world, right? To speak to those kinds of people, you got to be part of the 0.1% of the global population. And that requires even more effort, right? So that's why I said, right? You Until you get there, it's going to be pretty fucking lonely, right? You can't also hang out with the same group of friends because you now realize that they are losers. So it's going to make it very, very hard for you to hang out with them. Eventually making you quit hanging out with them because they make you feel worse about yourself because they're going to probably make fun of you for going to the gym or, trying to do something better with your life, right? Crabs in the bucket mentality. Hey, you're shining to the mud. So, yeah, man, you're making me look bad. So come back, right? Come back to the gutter, right? Basically, it's that analogy. That's why you're going to end up alone, right? You're going to end up with very little people to talk to, right? Um, if you don't have people supporting you, then it's going to be even more lonely, right? Yeah, man, it's going to be. I'll be honest, it's going to be fucking miserable in this stage. But realize that it's important. If you're going through this phase, that means that you are on the trajectory of growth. So take and be happy about it, right? Take joy in that fact. Now, how do you deal with this phase proper, right? Because this is very, very depressing for a lot of individuals, right? To hear that shit, I'm going to be fucking alone with no social life. I got no friends. What the fuck am I going to do? I'll have no friends. I'll have no hobbies. How am I going to live life? Is a question that a lot of people may ask, right? But that's the cost of success. That's what success demands from you, right? Success demands that you give it your all. You sacrifice everything. You gotta be willing to go through that phase so that you're able to build the foundations properly to have the dream app that you want. For a lot of people, including myself, like if we gave our best, our fullest, everything that we had, 100%, every single day, if we gave that every single fucking day, then in a year our life would be significantly fucking dead. Right? You could become financially free. You could have the dream physique. A lot of your goals will be achieved. All it takes is a single year of sacrifice. 12 months of pure hustle and grind. Of course, you gotta take care of your health as well, which is why you're going to the fucking gym. You're ensuring that you sleep properly and things like that. I'm not trying to tell you to go and fucking burn out, right? I'm not trying to tell you to go and not take care of yourself, right? I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is this requires extreme focus. This requires a lot of focus. It's going to demand a lot from you. And you got to be willing to give that, right? That's how I include to the universe that, hey, I deserve success. I deserve what I want. Give me. Give me the shit that I want. I deserve it now. I now qualify. You're basically telling the universe that you now qualify for the things that you asked for. Mike Tyson put it very beautifully. And I don't know if there's a bias, right? I don't know if this probably makes sense, but he said that I'm paraphrasing the way. Rock bottom is beautiful, right? There is no testimony without a test. I mean, I saw it as something pretty profound. Um, but yeah, rock bottom is beautiful because there's no other way to go other than up, right from there. Because you hit rock bottom. There's nothing there for you. There's nothing to lose anymore. So the only way to go from there is up. You got nothing to lose and everything to win. So take it however you may want it. Right? Now, coming back to the point of the whole process of being, you know, um, the phase of being known, right? How do you deal with that? Now, the biggest challenge a lot of people may think is they won't feel happy, right? But they'll kind of feel sad because they, hey, fun, I don't have anybody, I don't have any friends, I don't know, man. I just grinding here see a fucking day. Push through until the grind becomes enjoyable. Eventually, the grind will become enjoyable, right? Because you are now entering a state of flow. You've gotten locked in, or you're locked in. So the hustle becomes enjoyable, right? Until then, push through. Also, understand that this is only temporary, right? And that once you have achieved that particular goal, once you have entered that club, once you have earned the right to become a member of that club of successful individuals, then you will live a better life. You will now have your dream life. Once you have gone through that phase of loneliness, that phase of hustle and grind, you now have achieved a lot of your goals. You now have your dream physique. You now have the income that you want, savings that you want, the financial stability that you wanted. So you can now live a better life. You can travel. You can meet new people. You can meet better people. And you can make better your friends. And yeah, that's how understand then that there is light at the end of the tunnel, right? So you gotta keep pushing through. That's the only way. The only way is to move forward. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. And I hope this video made sense, man. Uh, I hope it resonated with you. And yeah, I hope it gave some inspiration to people who are going through that lonely phase. I'm also going through that phase, so I understand. I'm speaking from experience, right? So yeah. See you in the next one.